Hello everybody and welcome back to more of the Nanyang Championship EU qualifier. We have made it to the lower bracket final. We just witnessed Vega take out Alliance. That means now they get to face up against Monkey Business, one of the top two teams in this whole qualifier. Vega looked pretty damn good. Now, I'm here with Merlini. Merlini, welcome.
Hello.
Our second Merlini for today, but memes. But let's hop into the draft. We can get an early look at the picks that are happening here. I don't know if you got to watch much of the last game, Merlini. You probably heard a bit about it since then. Loda tried out this life stealer, invade the ancient tactic. We got to play against it in a pub. Do you think this is something that could somehow, some way be actually competitive, viable competitively?
If you don't have the mobility to deal with it, and you actually let him farm a Radiance, then you probably will just get owned by it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think once people kind of realize what's going on, it seems like they realize what's going on even before it got really popular. So, I mean, Radiance it takes a long time to farm.
It does. It does. And it looked like for a while there, like Loda got into the creep and was like, we have an Iron Shell. It's kind of like a poor man's Radiance. We'll just put that to use for a while. And he was like dancing with the idea for what almost felt like 10 minutes. So this is like 5 to 10 minutes of not going back and farming, just harassing heroes and taking like a tower here and there. Maybe they got a support kill or so, but it just clearly wasn't enough.
No one really likes junglers in 6.85 nor 6.84. You'll see like the occasional Enigma, but for the most part, it will like sometimes be the offlaner going there, but it just you lose way too much of your lanes by only having 4 people occupying them. Anyways, first pick Darkseer for Monkey Business, so it looks like Lina will be one of the few top tier bands left from 6.84 that have transferred to 6.85. Vega, no one with his classic Shadow Fiend.
Do you think Wisp is going to be back into the limelight here? Clearly he's been showing a lot for Vega
his
and
partners
Alliance.
are really good.
Is that the fact that because of all of his typical counters have been nerfed down? You got to remember like Winter Wyvern, who's probably one of the more popular ones. Now that if he is able to get a Winter's Curse, he will not attach or get anyone nearby who has like a BKB or any sort of magic immunity. And then the fact of all the heavy burst heroes like Lesh and stuff have been, and Storm, who are able to easily get a hold of Wisp, have been kind of taken down a notch.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Bounty Hunter has been nerfed. Lina could one-shot the Wisp. The counters that you mentioned, but CK and Tiny both got buffed. I think Sven got buffed too. So you're looking at all these melee heroes doing a little bit better. I think Ursa overall got a little bit buffed, although I'm not sure we'll see him around.
So we get to see a nice throwback of some of the big TI3 heroes come back into play here. Another hero that's been popping up is like first phase grab as a support, Ogre, who for some reason received yet another armor buff, now sporting 8 armor at the start, like as if he wasn't big enough.
He has insane armor.
So he can just easily bodyguard runes, harass, and just draw attention onto himself, force his opponents to kind of use all their mana, and he'll still be able to walk away unscathed. It's just ridiculous of a hero.
Yeah, it's the start of a minus armor strat on Dire for Vega Squadron. Let's see. Vega, I've seen a lot more TA recently, and Huskar has been banned out. I think Vega can actually use that, but regardless, Slardar has been banned out. The other common pairings that we see are Venge, although Venge Dazzle not that much synergy aside from just having minus armor, and then we see Bristleback a decent amount too.
Yeah, Earthshaker also been ignored all the way up through to this point. Mag supported in the off lane in their previous game, did very well. Before that, played Clockwork. It seems like if Mag obviously is able to have a very successful off lane setup, or if the opponent just neglects him, he always seems to come out.
Dude, they banned 3 miracle heroes.
Well, the kid's good. 8k MMR, Merlini. Do you got 8k MMR?
I do not have 8k MMR.
Yeah. I mean, they did not...
We have not 8k anymore.
Sad times.
Sad times.
Oh, it's the forehead strat, Merlini. It's back.
It is back.
The forehead strat is back. Ogre, McGee, and Yakiro.
I don't know if it's a core Jakiro though. You usually don't see a Darkseer and Jakiro on the same team, just because the Ogre Jakiro is like really strong at limiting an enemy carry's farm, although they don't have any sign of a weak melee carry in the safe lane.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
22 melees. Jakiro is technically ranged, but tends to kind of be in the heat of the moment. A little too close quarter
what does that
right
mean?
now.
He's probably going to be like a safe lane support then.
Yeah.
Which is I say mediocre
It's
versus
just so
a
slow.
plus
Think about how slow Jakiro was at moving around.
I like the Ice Path though versus a Snowball Initiation. That's actually really strong, especially
yeah.
because you can drop it before you get stunned.
I'm curious also if this is going to be a off-lane Tusk or not. Vega have already shown that they're just as content on rolling it in that 4 roaming position if necessary. So they can flip the script here, still pull out something a bit different, or maybe Mag.
Tusk still seems pretty strong. His sigil is not easy to kill at all with proper micro, and this movement slow is almost like you just feel so sluggish. It's like everyone's napalmed on your team. Speaking of Bat Rider,
Naga comes out here for Vega. Hard to say whether it's going to be a core or if it's going to be that support grab here. Is there maybe a better benefit to having it in one position or the other, being able to utilize a song for maybe a team setup and a Requiem, plus whoever their 5th pick could be? Or is it more viable for them to just have this Naga farm up right a bit? I don't think there's any sort of telling signs from Monkey Business that they have to kind of vary one or the other. It seems like Vega are just keeping their draft very loose, like they can make easy adjustments on the fly.
The trend that we've been seeing for the core positions, though, the one especially is ones that can fight earlier and earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
Like Ember and Huskar, the ones that you see banned. Slaughter even can just fight with a blink. Naga Siren. Farming at Radiance is a luxury that most teams will just not give you. You have to sacrifice a lot in order to even, I'd say, get the relic. And generally, the hero is like very weak in the early game.
All of her
Naga
items
Siren's
have
a
been
little bit
buffed,
different.
though. Heart's buffed, Radiance is buffed, Manta's buffed. Maybe it's just, it could be just something that they noticed all these buffs and are willing to incorporate it and give it a shot. That's why I also thought Spectre was going to be good, because in addition to all of her regular item buffs, like those ones I mentioned, her dispersion was also buffed. So I always figured Spectre could have been something. But you're right as well. Lately, for more 1 positions, they seem to be more built around fighting, and they don't want to be farming.
If
so
it's a
much.
Naga core, they would just dump like Darkseer or Ogre Jakiro or Darkseer plus any of those, and Naga Siren would have an nigh impossible time farming. So I don't think it's a good idea at all. TA works, I think, really well versus Vega. I would expect it to be banned out instead of the Huskar, but probably seeing some Huskar plays and just don't want to deal with that at all. Even though they have a lot of physical damage to deal with it, they have... I think they actually have a great toolkit to kill a Huskar. So I think it's more of a fear factor thing than it's actually really good against their lineup. The TA is something I would be much more scared of, just because it's a decent matchup against Shadow Fiend. They do have some plus armor with Dazzle, but she's just gotten out of control lately. And with especially with the Jakiro, Liquid Fire plus TA is extremely easy to take Roche with.
10 seconds remaining.
Plus Vega can get even more positive armored. Both Dazzle and Tusk are good medallion candidates there. But Monkey Business, with the 4-man draft they have, seems to be like they're going to be a bit more aggressive early. So maybe not looking to risk the opportunity that Vega, if they do decide to take it late with whoever they decide.
And as you mentioned, they don't really have a great setup with the Song or the Siren. It's not even that great versus the Darkseer, because Darkseer will just turn around and vacuum wall your team. So you generally just trade ultimate for ultimate, except Darkseer does a lot more damage than Naga Siren. So it's a little bit scary, I would say. And on top of that, there's like a lot of axe.
Is this a core? This would be the 3rd time I'll see a core axe if it is.
This might be I think it's a core Naga.
So a core Naga with the axe to kind of be that mid-game tempo with Shadow Fiend a bit, and they get the space for Naga to farm. Monkey Business, do they decide to turn it up here? They already have a Snowball hero in TA, but for their safe flame farmer here, they'll have to have someone who can either match up with the farm of this Naga, or maybe push the pace so that she can't get the opportunity to farm and take towers.
They could easily aggro with Gyro and just put Darkseer in the safe lane.
What if they do like an Undying or something like that?
Undying's okay, but you're worried, like, if you lose the lane, you want a fallback plan. TA's not good enough as a carry to deal with Naga and Shadow Fiend. Oh, Venomancer, banana.
That's disgusting.
The Bananamancer.
He's it's a Big Daddy Venom. He's been playing.
Oh, it had to be a core.
I mean, it's just, I haven't personally seen it, but I remember Winter had brought it up also. It's just something that Big Daddy has been throwing into his hero 6.85 Rolodex a bit.
Venomancer is, I think, pretty good this patch.
Well, what was it that made him buffed? His Poison Sting was increased, and the ult was reworked in a bit where it lasts longer but does a touch less damage. I think it does a touch more overall, but it's not like anything to to be excited over. It's like 50 to 60 damage, I believe, total, but it lasts longer. And I remember the ruling was it felt better for a core Venomancer, but didn't work better for a support. I can't remember exactly how it got broken down, but
Also Glimmer Cape nerf. Glimmer Cape used to,
yes.
like if you consider the percentage of the duration that it could cover Venom's ult, it's much less
will be
than before.
You did. I did not. See, it's a
crashed.
gamble. All right, Merlini, well, we'll wait for you to get reconnected back into the game. We're going to go ahead and start things off here. It's the Nanyang EU qualifier matchup in the lower bracket final. It's Monkey Business going toe-to-toe against Vega. Vega, as we know, are already warmed up and ready to play as they took out Alliance 2-1 in just the previous series. Monkey Business had a very impressive run through the upper bracket, but then eventually did meet up with the 5 Jungs in the winner bracket final. And they actually got taken out 2-0. So it was actually very uncharacteristic to see Monkey Business taken down because especially in Game 2 of that Monkey Business 5 Jungs matchup, they got beat down really hard. So they're going to be looking for that rematch, and Vega are going to look to continue their stride and secure a trip to Singapore at the LAN. Looks like you're back now, and looks like we're going to have some attention here from both sides towards this top rune. Doesn't look like anything unusual with the lanes, but it is a Pasha axe. So this is a farming axe.
I like Monkey's lineup like a lot better.
Okay.
So much better. They have way better team fight, I would say. Just damage everywhere, coming out from every angle. Every single
Angle?
Well, I was about to say like orifice. I was like, that sounds a little bit weird. But they're just like oozing damage everywhere.
Yeah. It's
And-
secreting. There we go.
And on top of that, not gonna Siren, if you want to use that song as a defensive capability, like people are still gonna die from Liquid Fire, from Poison Nova, Ion Shell, Macro Pyre,
Yeah.
Ignite. There's like so many things that will still keep on ticking. And I don't think that they're okay, wait, so what are they doing? They're doing a farming
axe.
farming axe.
Yeah.
Why farming axe?
I think they did it once before. I can't remember who their matchup was. I think I want to say against NIP. But they pulled out an axe, farmed it up. It got a nicely timed Blink Dagger, and sure enough, it definitely went to work. Now he has to deal with an Ion Shell.
Yeah,
Probably not Axe's best friend here, so the lane matchup is not nice here. Look at this. He's getting run down here. This is actually probably going to be our first blood. No, the salve actually healing through an Ion Shell. How ironic. And our first blood actually happens near the mid lane where they're going to be taking out the support solo Naga. Oof.
Yeah, on top of that, they have better lanes, I think. Dazzle should be paired up with the axe, but even then, it's not that great of a lane versus the Darkseer. You don't really want to tank Ion Shell at all, but you need to tank creeps to spin. So that's a I would say already a lost lane with the salve cancel coming out from Moon.
Yeah.
And then the mid lane, we see Fly just like camping for this courier.
He's been hanging around here since the start.
Yep.
It's the same way we saw, like, Jerix. They love getting him Ogre, and he loves playing those roaming supports, and Fly's adapting a bit of that play style in this game now. Just constantly pops in, says, hey, no one, how you doing? You want a casual little concoction of fire? Throws out the
Okay,
Ignite.
here comes the chicken. Let's see the snipe.
All right, he's been waiting all day for this. Let's go, Fly. Where'd he go? Oh, he's going.
Well, he might see it
2-minute
now
rune.
and then turn back. Oh, no. He was just like 5 seconds off.
Oh, well.
But and then in the mid lane, we see Miracle, TA versus Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend already has to require some assistance. That's why you see some of the people already heading over towards the mid lane. I guess a really, really outskilled Shadow Fiend, or sorry, outskilled TA can lose to a Shadow Fiend, but that's very rare at this level of play.
Yeah, AKM Marley. We cannot forget that. They
But
also
he's
rotated
doing
down
pretty
towards
well.
the bottom. Yeah, the TA matchup 11-2, now matching up at 11 apiece here. It's not going too shabby.
Yeah, it's not going that badly for no one at all. At the same time, though, the Shadow Fiend should not have kill potential on the TA. But once you're 6, you have to be very scared. And it gets out of control really quickly for the TA. Or if Shadow Fiend gets a kill, not the end of the world.
They also need to, maybe build up some side stacks here if they really want Miracle to build up a huge boost to farm and become a problem in the mid game.
They have to be scared, though. Darkseer can easily go in and take it.
That's true.
And he has, like, decent control of that top lane still, although his CS is not that great.
Yeah, I mean, they did rotate Solo up there for a bit. They had all 3 to help out with this Darkseer. That means that Mag
Fly's
is
getting
going to have a bit of a
breathed
slow
out.
time. But yeah, Fly, who continues to be a problem in the mid lane, will get zoned all the way back. And Moon will get capitalized on here. Night Pasha moves in, gets some quick spins off, and the Darkseer will go down. They manage to tie things up. Constant rotations coming out from Vega. They seem to be all over the place, but you can almost say the same here for Monkey Business with Fly walking about. I guess it just comes down to having good wards, being able to read these movements, and taking advantage. Miracle in trouble, pops the refraction here. He'll be fine. Fly, though, steps in, gets off the stun, and he's going to use his mass to see if he can move in and get some right clicks off. Not going to be able to do so. Solo will be there with the Riptide, and we'll create a bit of space. We're back at top lane again as Moon and Pasha trade a bit of blows.
4-minute rune on top. Looks like Vega wants to contest, but oh no. With Crit being on bottom lane, are they going to get this regen?
He's en route. Mag might be there first. Looks like he got it. Crit has no level in the Ice Path yet, being only level 2, went with the dual breath. Now Mag going to be snowballing in. He'll get some right clicks, but we know Jakiro to be pretty tanky. He'll be able to walk away. All right, casual harassment will force Mag to go all the way up and around here. It's not a boosting start for Mag like we saw in the last couple of games. He's still at level 3. We look at Moon, about to be level 5. So he's definitely getting a bit more. And I imagine he'll push for the mech in this game. Add to more of their crazy team fight we were talking about a bit before.
Big Daddy buys a Gloves of Haste. Not sure what he's going to buy. I see Midas a decent amount on Veno, which I think is actually pretty good because he's not that great at farming. He's good at farming because he can farm out very far, but in terms of actual speed,
Yeah.
he's not that great.
Yeah, you go to a camp, you're like, I got to plant a couple of wards here maybe to help right click.
And you have to be careful about like not blocking the next spawn with it.
Yep.
And it's just overall slow, but his area that he can farm is just so much safer, and people are just really unwilling to kill him. It's like you don't want to eat that little poisonous bug because he's just going to kill you.
I assume also, you know, after the Midas, he's looking to build up a lot of farm and levels to get his ult leveled up and then go for an Agnums right away. I feel like Agnums is still a pretty top priority even for a core Venomancer.
Some people get like a blink just so you can Nova all 5 people. And if you die, so what? Darkseer or TA hopefully will clean up all those dead low people. Go for an aggressive play on top.
Is Fly. He gets the surge help, looks to run in, leads off with the ignite, double rotations, and quickly they turn away. Mag's going to be first to show up, has a snowball and shard, dishes out the shard trying to block off Moon, but there is a crack. He will slip through, tries to get off the surge, but they roll in, and it sets up a beautiful call in the first dunk of the game. Moon will lose his pointy head, and they will not be able to get the pick on top. So Vega, good converge. It does force out quite a bit of attention towards that top lane and will free up the bottom for the Veno. But look at mid lane. Miracle gets a haste rune, starts going in for Solo, gets the trap slow, needs 2 more right clicks, and we'll get it. Oh, and one pop makes it 3. And look at this. He's looking for a follow-up here. Seema the Slayer with no more mana, has no grave. He has no help. Mag is here, and oh, he's able to turn around the corner, just taking too many shots from the tower. Miracle doesn't want to risk it too much. Will walk away and pick up a bounty rune for himself. He'll get both runes.
Yeah, you're already seeing a lot of control coming out from this Templar assassin.
Yeah.
Getting all those runes and diving supports and whatnot. And yeah, they lost Moon a couple of times on top, but he's still doing pretty well.
He's doing pretty well.
He doesn't have any levels in vacuum. 2 in surge, I suppose.
Here on out, though, Iron Shell get vacuum. Got to get the vacuum.
Oh, level 7 you got to get.
Oh, Ion Shell, they got the stun. They are able to sidestep the call here, but obviously they do not have the firepower to burst through this axe yet, which I want to see Pasha's build. For now, gets the ring, so it looks like either it's not just a side ring. He's going to go for the Vanguard first before committing in for the Blink Dagger. I would imagine Blink Dagger has to be pretty important here for Vega. Committing already for a farming axe, I wager that they just were planning on him getting a quick blink so that he could be a problem at around that window of time that TA would love to be a problem.
I'd like to see the Jakiro come to the top lane aside from the Ogre can't really right click the axe just because of the threat of the spin. With the Jakiro over there, you can always just dump liquid fire constantly on him without having to get harass and return. There's no way for them to catch up. There's no battle hunger on the axe, and also there's no poison touch. So they have no slows for the lane. The only way they catch up is if like Tusk comes in or Naga's there for a net, but even that is only a level 1 net.
Yeah. Solo still level 4. Be a little bit before we'll see that song able to come out. They made another stack on the side of Monkey Business here, but there is a ward for Vega.
See, they're already looking for the stacks. If they had stacks for TA, it would have been destroyed right about now. Solo has 2 points in Mirror Image, which is primarily used for stacking and scouting, but he's not really going to offer that much. You can't really clear camps with a level 1 Riptide, especially after a 6.85 nerf, and he is super weak right now. Doesn't really have that much utility with Ensnare. Ensnare level 1 is much less than the duration of level 2 Surge. And Miracle looking to camp out the Shadow Fiend. They have to be very wary of a Dazzle TP, though.
Just raise the side?
I do not know what that was about.
Got that ghost. That's for sure. Oh, look at this. Maybe the game sense was tingling, but senses that Miracle's coming in. And I don't know. He felt like something was nearby. Top lane. Ooh. Pasha. Big trouble. Vacuum wall come out from Moon. Gets him pretty low. He's trying to get around this creep. Oh, it's blocking his way. He can't quite get there. Pasha's going to be able to walk away.
And we see the solo kill by Veno onto the Tusk. Veno is just completely left unchecked. Highest CS in the game right now. Arcane Midas pushing tower with Bassi. And no one really wants a gank because there's wards set up everywhere.
Reminds me a bit, I can't remember what game, it was me and you casting a Jiggle Billy playing a Venomancer where he just kept hanging out on the side, and they didn't want to deal with him because when you commit onto a Venomancer, which hold that thought, it's mid lane, there's a huge breakout here. They're going to converge for Miracle. Refraction soaking up the damage, but it does conclude. Snowball's going to be moving in. It actually goes for Fly. Then they change course, looking to go for TA, the more precious target, but she will bottle up and retreat. And this Vega movement will lead to no kills. They cannot get a grab on that.
Wow, why didn't they snowball the TA? She's a really important kill right now.
I don't know if they like spastically went to get on anyone they could just to move on forward with the company, but yeah, not quite the right target. And they allow the TA to slip out from trouble. But what I was going to say for Venomancer is he's really annoying to go for. As you said, has all those wards, but even if you make a committed jump, and let's say you're successful, there's a good chance he'll probably get the Nova off, and then by the time you get him down, you're weak. You got to go back to Fountain. You got to heal up. It's a pain in the butt.
It's really inefficient to kill him.
It's just so much time wasted, and they're just going to be happy that Venomancer can find all this solo farm and push towers and take towers. He's got that Midas already and 1k gold. If he decides to build up into an Agnum Scepter or whatever, he'll eventually show his ugly mug, and Vega, well, they better hope they have some sort of magic resistance for it.
I don't think they have enough burst to kill him without casting Nova, though. They have to, like, Tusk Snowball or Axe Blink into, like, you know, a Punch Call combo.
Quite the lockdown or silence capability or really anything. Maybe if they get the lead in, Axe Blink with the Call and the Snowball follow-up and all that, but Pasha's now nearly 1k, still needs plenty of time. But
they have Blink, but even their initiation is really poor. Axe has Vanguard, as you mentioned, no Blink first, so it's going to be difficult for them to get an easy kill. Miracle. Oh no, is he going to get the stack stolen?
He's very low. He either has to decide to run, which he can't now. Trapped up, Walrus Punch, he is gone, and Vega will secure this nice little offshore account of Monkey Business. Serious gold swing. They get a top priority target, and they take all their gold away. Top lane, oh, they're going for the Naga. Vacuum actually going to miss here, but they eventually scout out the little slithery one, and we'll take him down. No one rotates in, gets a nice raise catch on the fly, turns back for crit, gets the close range, and now we'll be able to just easily right-click him down with the help of this haste rune. He gets a double kill. Vega, huge turnaround for them.
That was a sick smoke, a sick ward, whoever placed that like 4 minutes ago. And look at old Veno trying to slither his way up top.
I'm coming. I've been farming all game for this moment. Drops the ward up and above, and here comes my Nova. Oops! Throws out the Gale, throws out the Nova, and has to get the hell out of there. Eats a raise, and he's going to get some good damage onto him over time, but I don't think it's going to be enough to finish off the Shadow Fiend. He'll get healed up, and everything will be okay. Now, and Nova's going to be down mid lane. They get the ensnare on the Miracle. There's going to be the follow-up of the Call. They still can't break through the Refraction crit. Helps out with the Ice Path here and a Dual Breath. Miracle, though, gets snowballed on. There's going to be the uppercut. Miss of the dunk, but it doesn't matter. No one's going to be able to finish it up, and he is now dominating on this Shadow Fiend. Back-to-back takedowns of Miracle. Previous to that, Big Daddy committing his combo, not really coming out a lot.
A lot of it has to do with that haste rune. Monkey just doesn't really seem like they're on the same page here. Darkseid really wants to farm his mech, but now that he has his mech, he has no mana to do anything with it. And Ogre has been trying to pressure top a lot, but they've only yielded Naga Siren kills. And imagine if she had like sleep there and they TP in into like a Requiem. Oh my gosh, that would have been really bad.
Man, they can really slow down someone. They were just harassing Pasha a bit. They had the Gale, Veno Ward, Dual Breath, you know, the Liquid Fire, and he's moving slow, but not really taking a lot of damage right now. I mean, is it enough of a concern for Vega? I know they're getting a lot going their way right now, but the magical damage of this Venomancer, Ogre, Jakiro, I know a Glimmer Cape is probably the first thing that comes to mind, but is it necessary to maybe commit for a pipe? There's a lot of magic.
I'm usually a big fan of pipe. I don't see a good reason not to get it in this game.
I don't think I've seen a 6.85 pipe yet, to be honest with you.
I don't think so. But I don't think they're as concerned because TA has been shut down really hard after that in mid. She was playing pretty aggressively, but then Shadowfiend got a haste rune, and everyone has been helping out mid lane, whereas you only see like Jakiro and like kind of Ogre helping out mid lane. And Big Daddy and Moon have just been on completely opposite sides of the map, trying to farm over the
It feels like they're trying to, you know, make it work now. Like, oh, we got all this time to be individuals, and farm up. Let's now come together. I just fear that might be too late.
Well, you have to rotate Veno into the position where he is most vulnerable.
Well, he's committing here for Dazzle. Gets the Gale off. Still holds the Nova. But it's very, very deep if they want to be going for it here. And actually, Daddy's going to have to be forced to TP back into trouble. Meanwhile, they're going for Fly. They're going to get the dunk. The Ogre will be beheaded here. And that's going to lead to the one-man pickoff right now. Again, Monkey Business kind of poking in like they want to get something done, but they seem to be a bit all over the place, and Vega punish him for it.
Yeah, the core axe is really good when you can farm 15-minute Blink and Vanguard.
Yeah.
So that's... I don't think they should have gotten the first kill on the Darkseer. Second kill, I saw.
Oh, nice catch. There's that Blink going to work now. Catches out both Moon. Now crit. Gets off a huge ultimate here, and no one's trapped in it. It's going to force out the song from Solo. Pasha, though, not going to be able to make it away. Gets burned up. Ignite tick there from Fly. He's going to get the final catch. Big Daddy now with a Blink Dagger. Commits in. Gets the catch with the ward, and Solo should be going down here. Oh. Yeah, I got him. Takira with the tip of that. Will be able to get the catch onto Lil Solo Naga. Seema mid lane. Under the pressure of Miracle. Is going to have to get the Grave off, but he has no TP and nowhere to run. See you later. 7-7 now. Game is evened up here.
Well, finally they take a team fight with a mech, the wall, the Veno ult, and he has Blink. So it is nearly impossible for him to not get like 3, probably 4 heroes with that Poison Nova.
Which they'll need him to step it up, because Miracle, I'm sure, was planning to be near a Desolator or have this Blink faster when he was originally planning to farm out that stack, but they had lost so much of that sweet income. For now has the Blink. We'll have to wait out for the damage and just hope for precious little supports to pick from here. And for no one on his Shadow Fiend as his polar opposite, Mech, Ogre Club already in hand, looking to build up a BKB to help with all that magic. We'll have to see, though.
Yeah, they had, I think, Veno sitting in the bottom lane for a little bit too long. You want him in probably the worst position on the team, just because he has a seemingly worse position, like let's say top lane really far out without any tower, but it's seemingly a bad position, but they usually have to burn a smoke to kill him, and even then he has a Blink now, so it requires a lot for them to kill him. And this way, if Vega decides to gank anyone else, they're in more favorable positions than, let's say, like ganking Moon on the top lane, which is really easy for them to do. And the risk reward is pretty good for that one. So you're trying to make the opportunities as bad for Vega as possible.
Looks like Monkey Business are going to push out this top lane. They're smoking. They pinged out the tower. They're going to move on through, take this opportunity to plant some pretty deep wards, and maybe just try to draw Vega's attention away from the Roche pit and up towards the top lane.
They cannot take Roche. Dire will get destroyed. And they have Blink Dagger on the Axe, but he get hit by a Veno Ward.
Oh man, he's not blinking anytime soon. He's able to get snowballed up and pushed away to safety, and then will TP back to the fountain here to get healed up. No blood will be shed yet, but Ensnare will catch Big Daddy way out of position. Committed himself into the lane, but only ended up dropping a ward and couldn't really do much else. So it was pretty awkward there.
He only hit 2 people with his Veno ult. They had to wait for Darkseer to get a big jump, but I mean, why did he blink down? All his firepower was already gone. He only had 3 players there, and I mean, Axe had TP'd out, but that's hardly any reason to go.
I don't know, maybe he saw something like a support might have been low and his eyes deceived him and just going in, biting off more than he can chew. And because of the pickoff now, Vega feel comfortable. Pasha and no one are going to be moving into the Roche pit.
They have to have Darkseer. Darkseer is the big team fight right now. Poison Nova is down for 1 more minute, and I don't know if they have enough damage without it. But let's see if they can get a... They need to smoke too. They have eyes on Moon right now. He's spotted out by Sima, so this is a pretty risky play. They have to. He has to vacuum onto the high ground.
And they also have Song, so even if something is to break out here, Solo could always... He fakes it out once, fakes it out twice, fakes it out 3 times.
But it's enough. They got him out of the pit, and Big Daddy is now right-clicking and getting people down with wards. So this is really good for them.
No Nova yet, though. He still needs 30 seconds.
They're buying time for it.
Ooh. Okay. They're still toying with them. Oh, wall. Vacuum. No one. Pumps out the Requiem. They're going to wait because Solo instead will dish out the Song here. And Vega will regroup.
I mean, they've started slowly taking over with the Venom Wars. They started over here. Now they're pushed over to the right. And wherever they go, they're going to have to deal with that. They have to smoke in. They have a smoke on the Axe, but it might be a little bit too late.
See, and now Vega look to contest. There's the smoke. They're coming in. Smoke is going to be popped. There's the blink in. The call, though. Not going to catch anyone. Nice spread from Monkey Business. Big Daddy to go down is able to still get the Nova off, and that's going to slowly wither away a lot of Vega here. No one's going to be first to fall. Miracle very low, and oh, Pasha not going to be able to get the catch with his pulling, but they are going to still bring him down in the end. Pasha will pick up that one. Here comes a big ice bath. This is choke point fighting for Crit. Him and Moon and Fly will be able to take down another, making it a 3-for-2 trade. Monkey Business still come out, and these 3 are going to try their best to finish off the road without any damage. They're just going to try to slowly muscle it down. Even that pesky sigil. Oh, it will break now, but looks like they'll get it. Who's going to pick up this Aegis? Moon. Cheeky little shards come out from
Axe
Matt,
coming in. There's no Venom Ward to stop his blink.
Here he comes. Oh, those shards last so long. He's able to go in. Will get the call onto all 3. He needs more, though. He will slowly spin out. They turn in. They get a multi and everything. Now the snowball comes in. Fly going to get uppercutted. That will be his demise. Vacuum back from Moon. The longest ever liquid fire will catch on the Pasha. Pasha looking to retreat. Looks like he might be able to barely live at about 20 life before he will regen back. Moon very low. Pops the mech. Still holds on to the Aegis. And Snare will come out from Solo. Drop of the wall from Moon. They snowball forward. That's going to be your Aegis. Pasha still engaging. Now going to get caught. He goes into the pit now. And I think he'll be going down shortly. Crit looks to sweep in. Big Daddy's made his return. And there he goes. Big Daddy's going to be getting the last hit on that. And he's been fighting around this Roche pit, Merlini, for what feels like 5 minutes now.
His wall came off cooldown. That's how long it was.
That is a long-winded Roche battle. Aegis is going to be gone. Who really comes out on top, though, after that huge debacle?
Radiant, easily, I'd say. And they like, I say slightly edged out in terms of kills, but in terms of what it means for the rest of the game, it's a really big deal. Like they could barely take it with both of their T1s down. I think with that sort of map control, they'll be able to take on their T2s, and they show that Naga Siren Ultimate is almost useless. It's just 1 life for the Shadow Fiend, which is not even that important right now. He doesn't have BKB, so it's not that big of a deal at this point. And they have to get BKBs because of the massive amount of damage from the Jakiro and then the Vacuum Wall. But once their BKBs get low, they're going to get owned by the Venomancer, who I assume will eventually get a Scepter. He's already almost, let's say, 3/4 of the way there. So, like, they have to, I think, do significant amounts of work with the 1 BKB on Shadow Fiend, probably 1 BKB on Axe, and that's a very small window, like the 10, 9, 8 second BKBs.
Vega back in mid lane here, but it looks like Monkey Business don't want to pull off too far. They're going to get a little D-ward and head on in. Crit got his Yules now. It's been a while since I've seen the classic hero Yules, but this will lead to a very easy setup. Can they get close enough? No. Will not be able to deny the TP out there.
It's all about the... if TA gets Aegis number 2, it is really bad for Vega, I would say. And that's the beginning of the end. I guess right now it's already the beginning of the end. Like, Naga-san has been completely useless this game. I would say she's just... Right now, it's just been -1 death for Shadow Fiend with the one sleep. But aside from that, it's... I don't really know where she should have been at the start, but she can't really zone out a TA at all.
I thought, yeah, it was going to be maybe for the Darkseer just trying to use the ensnare to help with the surge a bit.
Yeah, I thought that's what they were going to do, to have 3 people up there, try and keep them limited. But they actually did really well without Solo, so it turns out he didn't really need to be there. And bottom lane, like 2 melee heroes trying to harass a Veno is not going to happen.
Miracle. Oh, Meld Strike going to be avoided with a nice little mirror image split from Solo. And him in his fragile life is just happy to dodge it. Miracle's not going to be able to come up with anything. That's him debuting his new Desolator.
And that's a Scepter for Veno. That is
a lot of damage. Let's see. What is it? It's level 2.
55 times 16. Let's see.
Carry the
880 damage. That's
a lot. Any sort of magic resistance already in play here. Solo has the Glimmer now. So that will help. It's not as good as it once was, but every little bit matters here. I'm curious to see if this Poison Nova will pay dividends. You're talking about no blink access for your axe. And Mag, also who committed for a Blink Dagger in this.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been better if he committed for like maybe a Shadow Blade instead? Because of these Poison Novas and wards, I feel like it's very difficult to do what you want with a Blink Dagger this game. Oh well.
You can't not get a blink.
It's just going to be very tricky, I feel.
It is.
They really get the upper hand.
They just have to use all the smokes. That's the big problem with playing against a Venomancer. If you want to get the jump in a team fight, you have to use the smoke, and you're going to run out of them eventually. Oh, the Bloodlusted Tower.
I don't think I've seen that yet. That's awesome. Oh, is it
wow,
right now?
That thing attacks.
Boop, boop.
Wow. It's insane.
Can you Bloodlust your fountain? That'd be cool.
Radiant's
I've never even tried, but
is under attack.
I wonder how beneficial it is. He's just going to continue to give it bloodlusted boosts as well. All right. Well, it's enough to kind of fend off this little bit of a tower aggression here. And they'll be putting themselves back in top position. Look at this Moon. Crimson Guard. No step off for the Blink Dagger for him. Instead, wants to get a bit more durable for himself and the rest of the team. Helps mitigate the damage, I suppose, for everyone, but helps with Naga illusions. I don't think that's much of a threat, but what do you think about the Crimson Guard grab?
It's nice extra armor. I would have thought that they would have had of Lads on someone too, but getting as much armor as possible versus the Weave, versus the Riptide, the Shadow Fiend, it's going to add up. And they have the mech for, what, a little bit of +2, Crimson Guard for +2, Vlad's is 5, and that will go a long way to helping them survive in fights.
Yeah, then someone gets an AC. We're all good.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can.
There's no AC candidate
at this point. But I mean, what do Vega do at this point? If they wait and farm, they're going to get outscaled. Like, Veno still has a long way to go. He can get Veil, and then after that he can get Refresher, and then the TA can get, like, you know, Daedalus plus Butterfly.
I don't think Vega are looking to go late. I mean, you're committing in for a farming axe.
So they can't go late because they have a farming axe.
Do something.
If they fight now, they're likely going to get destroyed by Vacuum.
They might not have a choice here because look at Monkeys Forever. They're moving in. I call them Monkeys Forever. Monkeys Business move in with a smoke. They're going to get the lift up on the Solo, and that's going to be the Naga commitment from Miracle here as he blinks across. Look, go for 9 Pasha. And Pasha going to get vacuumed back through a wall. Big Meld Strike continues to run. What a catch of the Ice Path coming out from Crit. He does get the Grave, though, and he makes it away. Back to Fountain. He'll be well. But Moon eats a big Requiem from the top of the hill of no one. No one, though, will have to commit his BKB and step back. It heals up from the Dazzle. Mag able to step away. Surprising Monkey Business after the pickoff from Solo. They can't quite get a hold of anyone else. But it's Vega at a point in the game when they're losing these exchanges and they should be winning them with the draft they've thrown together. They even make the commitment on here on the Miracle, who's going to shrug it off with a Refraction. They pop out the dust, but he's already long gone at this point.
Where's the Veno? They need the Poison Nova.
There, go ahead and uppercut from Mag. Moon takes it, but there it is, the Poison Nova vacuum, and that means that Solo's like, oh, everyone's got Ebola. There's nothing we can do. Frantically running to the base, but they slowly wither away. Pasha's going to take right clicks. He will crumble down. It's a triple kill for Big Daddy. Soon to be possibly an Ultra, as Solo is going to be the last Left man standing for Vega. He gets taken down. It's a 5-man wipe. Monkey Business lose no one. They mech up and now go for the mid lane.
Too much damage. I liked Monkey's lineup from the get-go, but the core axe with the support Naga is just strange.
It does feel a bit almost
Most of the
all
times
in.
we see a core axe is versus a lot of melee cores that will easily be shut down with the help of an axe. Like let's say Phantom Lancer, I would say would be heavily shut down by a Dazzle axe lane. Same with an anti-mage.
A Brood?
Brood, but you don't really need an axe to shut down a Brood because I think there's many other better counters. But there's the axe is they don't even have any like melee cores that like right click. Ogre, not really.
Yeah.
But that's generally what I think axe is really good against. It's like maybe Ursa too. Ursa's not that great of an example because Fury Swipes owns them, but melee right clickers is what he excels versus. And if you just constantly get him to go on him the entire game, Lifestealer too, these sort of heroes are the ones that you're looking to shut down with a core axe. But he got a lot of farm.
Meld, Gale, Pasha's in trouble. Vacuum's going to deny that TP, and Miracle's going to pick up a killing spree for himself. And you said that there was a point. Beginning of the end here looks like it's in order. Monkey Business quickly clear out the Dazzle. No one's going to be forced to pop his BKB. Can't quite get the Requiem off, and he'll be the last real damage dealer trying to defend out his base now without the magic immunity. And Big Daddy has yet to. Okay, see you later. Solo is there one moment, gone the next, and that's all Vega need. They are going to be throwing in the towel, and it's going to be Monkey Business who will take game number 1 pretty damn convincing. So Merlini, maybe it was Vega going back to something that worked out for them before and didn't quite read the team composition properly. It felt like they had something they wanted. They wanted to be able to get this Korax farmed up, a quick Blink Dagger, and not allow Monkey Business to go late. It was just all over the place.
It was a really good draft for Monkey Business.
They didn't even do anything with the Venomancer. Venomancer bottom just got to do whatever the hell he wanted. Moon got a great start as well, so he got a decently timed mech.
I mean, they drafted to win all 3 of their lanes, and they had better team fight and better late game. Let's see. Veno, is he going to pop up as much as he did before? Seems actually, I'd say, fairly likely.
He's just so annoying.
I
mean, you have to itemize appropriately going against Avino. Someone needs Glimmers, maybe BKBs. And then what we were saying is, like, usually if he's out there farming on his own, someone's got to deal with them. And usually that means they'll either die trying to take him down or going back to Fountain, and it's just a waste of your time. You're losing out on so much, and everyone else around this Venomancer is going to continue to get what they need.
It's probably similar to how you deal with the Lifestealer ratings. You just don't let him get to that point where he can get Midas and just do all these things. So I think it requires 2 or 3 heroes to be against them early.
They need to respect the Venomancer a bit
Yeah,
more.
you have to. Well, they picked it last, so
Yeah,
they have to change things up at the last minute. But I don't know if that would have worked the best for a strategy.
Yeah, maybe they're respect enough for considering a second phase ban or something.
Yeah, but I'm sure Fada really likes playing the Venomancer. 8 Mother, I think, really liked it.
8 Mother, yeah. 8 Mother Veno.
I don't know if they'll still carry over.
We'll see. Well, we got more games ahead of us, though. That's just game number 1. Monkey Business are going to be leading 1-0. We'll have to see if we're going to go to a 3-game stretch, and Vega will be able to defend themselves. Otherwise, Monkey Business will do a 2-0 sweep and meet up with the 5 Youngs in the grand final. We'll find out in just a moment. That's Merlini. I'm Coddle Guy for Beyond the Summit. We'll see you soon.